Well, race season's over, so now time to put the car up somewhere warm. That engine's not filled with coolant, it's filled with water. So I need to put it in the garage and consider draining some of that water and just making sure I keep these this side of it warm so I don't get a cracked block. Usually it doesn't get hot enough here to crack the block, but I don't want to take any chances. I've put too much money into this car. So today I'm pulling this thing out of the trailer, and last time I was out she ran into the, or almost ran into the wall twice. I thought it was just well, it probably was still an unprepped track, but I still want to check it. I want to make sure this thing does do some pretty nice wheeling. So I need to make sure that the suspension is holding up and nothing's cracked or bent. So I'll be dragging this guy out of here. See the car a little bit better. So there it is. So what I was doing with the carburetor is those air bleeds, that leaded fuel will tend to clog those air bleeds up a little bit sometimes. So I spray that down. The roof is painted white because it gets freaking hot here in Texas in this black car. So that's why it's painted white up top. Just kind of the inside. Just see this half. Alright, so I'm gonna fire this thing off. Got some low tires. Fire it off. See if I can get it to warm up and for it to idle on its own somewhat. And then I'm gonna drive it into here. Sits low enough. The hoop that's connecting the back half tends to hit the lift, so I've got to put these little wooden ramps there to let it clear. It does sit fairly low. All right, so here we go. Let's make some noise. All right, so show you what's happened. So the fuel pump wasn't kicking on. So it wasn't the fuel pump, not the fuel pump at all. So my little solenoid panel. So this yellow wire here is my fuel pump. It was initially down here on this fan one. For some reason it's not giving me voltage here, so it could be that. It's not the fuse. I already checked the fuse. So anyways, so just for right now, so I can get this thing in the garage, I pulled it off of this lead and put it here. And now the fuel pump kicks off, so we'll run it on that for now just to get it in the garage, and I'll figure that out later. little cubby hole for the winter time. I'll get to lift her up and checking the edges, make sure I'm not too far on one side. She looks good. All right, I cover this guy up, and we'll release the pressure on the valves later. But today I want to kind of put up and make sure she's up where she can stay nice and warm for the winter time. She's leaning because she's got low tire here. Let's see, that's it, guys. So I got the car up on the lift. Wanted to just kind of look things over now that I've got access to it. See there, that's the engine diaper. That's in case I decide to push it a little hard and things come flying out the sides. It has something to catch it. Let's see. Everything looks good here. Nothing loose. Everything looks good. So that stuff there, so you see the freeze plug, see that gray stuff that's on the freeze plug? That is called marine text. That's kind of a supercharged version of JB Weld. Machinist recommended it to me. And that stuff works wonders for cracked blocks. So yes, this race engine, this engine block has cracks. Stress cracks or heat cracks, whatever you want to call them. It's got cracks all over the place. So those cracks are covered with this marine text. So it's all good. It's sealed. It doesn't leak. It's only a race engine, so it doesn't run for very long. So it's plenty tough enough with that stuff. I've had this engine in this car for quite a few years now. Backing up here, trying to not to bump my head on stuff. There's the back end. Checking the exhaust pipe, drive shaft. That's a big drive shaft there. I broke this drive shaft not too long ago and had to get it upgraded. So those are some bigger yokes. Bigger U-joints. Everything else is tougher, bigger, stronger. Let's see, no cracks. Nothing loose. That drive shaft loop, I had to re-weld it. So that one's good. Let's see, brake line. No leaks in the brake line. Let's see, everything looks good here. No cracks there. No cracks, so being that I don't see nothing wrong here. Ooh, I've got a leak there. So yeah, you guys probably see that. I definitely have a leak here, so that's definitely brakes. Looks like brake fluid leaking there, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Probably need some. Looks like it's leaking from the inside. It doesn't look like it's leaking from the hose. So that means I probably got a bad seal on the cylinder, on the pistons. I have to get that replaced. These are some pretty old shocks. They're holding up, especially with the big wheelies it does. Let's see, this side, not too bad. That's that looks like differential grease that's caused a pile up there. So that's I've had to redo that seal before, and that probably not going to stay there or not going to keep for very long because this. The way this thing does. Ooh, look at that. That's, oh no, that's good. That's good. I thought I found something. Everything looked good under here. So it was pulling hard to the right last time I was out. And I think it has to do with the track not being prepped. Everything here looks good. Rear end looks good. Nothing Nothing bad. You guys get to see the bottom half of this car. Everything looks good. You see those marks on the tires there? That's where it's wrinkling up when it's carrying the front wheels. It wrinkles these tires up pretty good. So it's a lot of fun ride. Very fun. Makes drag racing awesome. So that drive shaft is 3.5 inches. So pretty good size, especially for the car. You know, this probably not gonna have something this big on a car this small, but I did it for the purpose of how much stress it puts on the rear half of the car whenever it's running or when it's going down the track. Let's see. Oh, I got a little bit of, looks like a mild leak there on the oil pan. Looks like I got some drops there, so this will have to come out. We'll have to check that and just make sure everything's good. Probably just loose from vibrations. Let's see if we can get this side. So this side, you can see that Marine Tex is there too. There's it right there. So yeah, the block is full of Marine, or not full of Marine Tex, but it's got Marine Tex all over the place. There's the oil pressure. Let's see, there's the fans, the balancer, the plate, the trigger, crank trigger, everything good. All right, so everything under here looks good. So I'm gonna stop here with the video. Get over here. Quit bumping my head. I keep bumping my head on this stuff. Let's see. Look at this. Oop, upside down. All right, so that's the vacuum pump tank. That's where all the condensation gets collected. Let's see, radiator, transmission, cooler. Thing looks good. Tires low. We'll have to air that up. Got the old school competition engineering drag shocks on it. It could use better shocks, but it's holding up. I'm not. I don't make enough to spend money on $2,000 shocks, so I'm good with these. Now I've got the car down off lift. I've got to take the fuel line off, pull the valve covers, of course drain a little bit of fuel that's in the fuel bowls, pull the valve covers, and then once I pull the valve covers, I'm going to spin the engine over to the, basically I'm going to release pressure from the valves and loosen that rocker. These are shaft rockers on this, so I'm going to loosen the shaft rocker without tension on it. Really bad if you loosen them when they've got tension. Worst case scenario, you probably don't want to do that. Anyways, this is part of my winterization of the race car. So just a little closer look. So see this one here? That one doesn't make any noise. It's tight. This one here does. I don't know if you can hear that. That one's loose. That one's loose. That one's loose. So these don't have any tension. So I can loosen these here. And basically what I'm doing is this screw and this screw is all I'm taking loose. I'm just going to pull them out and leave the push rods in there. But I'm just going to pull these loose, maybe put it in just enough to where it holds it on there, just for the winter time. If you can see the oil nice and clean. Yeah, this thing doesn't run long enough to burn the oil. I don't keep oil in it that long. So, all right, so let me get to doing that. And that's basically what I'll do on the other side as well. I'll spin it. My phone here, show you what I've done. So all I've done, see here, the screws are loose on all the stands, so that's all I'm doing. I'm taking them loose. I'm making sure that the valve is still, or the push rod is still in the cup of the adjuster here, but I've got them just turned in a couple turns so they won't come out of there. This is just, like I said, this is just for winter time. Just so the springs don't stay under pressure, and hopefully they last longer. I hope, because I can't afford to buy springs every year. I don't make enough doing this yet. Maybe one day I will, right? Maybe I get lucky and get a sponsor someday. Then I can do this more. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. That's what I've done so far. So now that they're loose, I'm going to put the valve covers back on and